too much of anything is not a good thing. You can leave a lot of your best moments in the gym. He's from Philly. I've heard how his sparring sessions go.
Boots could beat everybody at 68. If he goes...
Why might a matchup against Canelo Alvarez, the 168-pound undisputed champion, be considered an easier challenge for Terence Crawford than facing a fellow welterweight? On the surface, it seems counterintuitive. Canelo is bigger, stronger, and a global superstar. However, according to renowned boxing trainer Breadman Edwards, the Canelo fight wasn't necessarily Crawford's most dangerous challenge. Breadman points out a harsh reality in boxing. It's not always a fighter with the most titles who poses the greatest threat. Sometimes the history and style of a particular opponent make a fight far more perilous. Right now, that challenge carries a name, Jaron Boots Ennis.
But Crawford's at 68. You know what I mean? I'm not crazy. I'm not going to say Boots could go to 68 just yet. Crawford did it with Canelo one night. You know what I mean? But that don't mean Crawford could beat everybody at 68. You know what I mean? It's some big, strong dudes up there. So I'm not going to say Boots could beat everybody at 68.
To grasp the concept, you need to distinguish between a high-profile fight and a truly difficult assignment. Trainer Breadman emphasizes that he's not referring to pay-per-view numbers, celebrity status, or championship accolades. Instead, he's talking about the challenge of securing victory in the ring on fight night.
Well, I would say Boots seems more comfortable. It don't really seem like...
That's one more.
He can do... He's more well-balanced. Like, Crawford dominates more from the southpaw stance than more...
You hit it on the nose.
Yeah.
Boots is powerful on both sides. You hit it on the nose.
Yeah.
He's powerful on both sides. He can knock you out on the southpaw side or either orthodox side. You know what I mean? He's comfortable. And a lot of times you don't know when he's switching.
So it's when he does. It's when he does automatically.
Yep.
Yeah.
Automatically. You seen it when he was boxing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Of course.
See how you switch up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know he don't even really box like that. I mean, he go out there and use the jab a lot, but see a lot of times he get in there and have fun walking guys down. You see, playing around,
using the ropes, pivoting, sliding out. Yeah.
You know how he get hit.
Boots Ennis represents a completely different kind of challenge. While Canelo Alvarez is an all-time great, he's a known quantity with a well-defined style. Boots, on the other hand, is largely unpredictable, a young, explosive talent with seemingly otherworldly skills, and 10 years Crawford's junior.
Boots. So I want to see him fight Jaron Ennis, and hopefully, he don't retire before then, or he say he too washed up and old. Hopefully he get my boy a shot. That's the only person I can see beat him. That's what I think can beat him. So other than that, the only thing I do want to see him do is, I feel like he's a little later with getting the top dollars like everybody else. So take a couple fights and, get your money working on. I feel like he worth it. He deserved it. He did his time. And, those are the only two things I want to see. I feel like other than that, it ain't nothing left for him to do.
This isn't merely a fight. It's a clash against youth, lightning speed, and untested, fearsome potential. It's the type of challenge that veteran champions, particularly those past their prime, are often advised to avoid. In boxing, this is a sport's controversial, little-discussed reality, a matchup between the aging pound-for-pound king and a 20-something rising phenom is a kind of fight that, historically, rarely takes place.
They could meet at 160 in a fair fight, but Boots don't have enough. Boots hasn't done anything as far as winning the title at 54 yet to intrigue Crawford. Crawford go down, and I just think, I think that boxing got the worst fans in all the sports. I know I'm involved in it, but they just do. You can't ever please the fans. If he wait for Crawford to unify at 160 and Boots unify at 154, you know what they're gonna say? Crawford was about 40 when they fought. They're not gonna give him credit. You know what I mean? So he's gonna be in a tough spot at all times. But I think the fight is possible, but the onus on these fights is on the A side. The A-side fighter has to be willing to do certain things. It doesn't mean it's the A-side's fault if the fight don't happen, but the A-side fighter has to be willing to, like when Crawford and Spence fought, Spence was willing to do things to get that fight. Yeah. He was willing to go against advice of his own team to get that fight. He was willing to leave money on the table to get that fight. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have to be one of those kind of things where Crawford could be like, you know what? I'm gonna shut that young boy up. I'm gonna show everybody that I'm that guy.
Breadman describes accepting a fight like this as a psychotic decision, and he backs it up with history. He points to Manny Pacquiao as an example. When Pacquiao faced a situation similar to Crawford's, with a young, hungry contender on the rise, he chose to avoid the matchup. Pacquiao never took the fight, illustrating the risks that come with such a challenge.
I would say, my God, he, like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, he's already an all-time great. I will move him up. And I'm not calling nobody's names, but most guys in his position don't do that. They don't take that fight. They just don't. Number one pound for pound in the world, you fighting a dude 10 years younger than you with that kind of twitch. And let me just say this. That's a black kid. It don't happen. I'm telling you, they don't take that fight. Manny didn't fight Crawford.
Yeah.
I love Manny Pacquiao. He fought everybody. He did not fight Crawford when he was in this situation. And the same age difference between Boots and Crawford is between Manny.
Breadman also draws a comparison to Canelo Alvarez's career, highlighting his long-rumored avoidance of David Benavidez, according to Breadman. Canelo's approach reflects a clear message. Too young, too fresh. Not a challenge I want to face right now.
Hard over a decade ago, no one's been a bigger Terence Crawford believer than Tim Bradley.
Right.
And so Tim still picks Terence to beat Boots, still picks Terence to beat Canelo. But as he continues to assess things, and this is how I felt for a while, is that it's a little similar, not quite all the way the same, but it's a little similar to the Canelo and Benavidez, where Canelo doesn't have to fight Benavidez. He's already a first ballot Hall of Famer. Crawford doesn't have to fight Boots. He's already a first ballot Hall of Famer. But this is the best fight out there for you.
It's the smart move for a champion looking to preserve their leg.
A wise choice for a champion focused on safeguarding their legacy, rather than gambling everything against an up-and-comer with everything to prove.
Or I'm not talking about titles won and all of that stuff. I'm talking about in the ring, the assignment in the ring on that night. That's a difference. The media kind of creates some stuff for certain guys. I'm not saying Canelo ain't a great fighter, because he's an all-time great fighter, but that's a different fight. Trust me.
What happens when a champion is reckless enough to take that gamble? One of the most striking examples in boxing history is Muhammad Ali. Past his prime, out of shape, and returning from a lengthy break, Ali faced a young, powerful, and relentless Larry Holmes. The world witnessed more than a fight. It was a methodical dismantling of a legend. This is a cautionary tale history warns us about.
Psychotic to take that fight. You know what I'm saying? Like Ali, Muhammad Ali, he's psychotic. He fought Larry Holmes. Old, shot, fat, layoff. I'll fight him. That's why he walk on water. People don't do that. They're not going to do that. Not that fight. But Ali is sick. He's like one of them. He's one of one. That's why I don't compare nobody to him. Because you're going to get a loss on your record if you keep taking those kind of fights.
Yeah.
And you see it in this era. People don't do it.
This is a nightmare scenario Crawford's team envisions when sizing up Boots. Breadman explains why he rarely compares anyone to Ali. Taking fights like that almost always ends with a loss on your record. It's a high-risk gamble that rarely pays off. And this isn't just theoretical. Breadman shared a striking insider detail that shows how seriously the sport's elite take Boots. He revealed that even Canelo Alvarez, the reigning 168-pound champion, has sparred with him.
Yeah. One more time. Yeah. Good. I appreciate you coming, your time, everything. Yeah, and I appreciate you. Yeah, thanks. It's helping me too. Yeah.
And now, I think Boots brought the best out of Canelo. I don't know how many rounds they may have sparred, if it's true, but if it is true, I'm assuming that Boots may have brought the best out of Canelo Alvarez in that sparring. Showed him different looks, the switch hitting. I'm pretty sure they probably wanted Boots to, emulate Crawford, or just to be who he is. Not saying Boots got to emulate anyone, because Boots has...
Breadman's take on that revelation is chilling. This wasn't just sparring. It was full-on live-fire drills. Pause and consider that. Why would a fighter Canelo's size be in such intense work with a welterweight? Because Canelo's team sees Boots as the ultimate stand-in for the speed and skill of an elite welterweight.
You can see that. He's a fighter who stays in the gym, right? So you first hear that, you like, well, that's what you want, right? You want your fighter to be a gym rat. Yes and no. Too much of anything is not a good thing. You can leave a lot of your best moments in the gym. He's from Philly. I've heard how his sparring sessions go. Even when you saw Boots face a retired Sean Porter. Yeah, he probably pulled some punches, but he was trying to hit Sean with some real shots. That's just how Boots Ennis gets down in sparring. My concern for him is that you get so many fights and you spend so much time in the gym and you fight a certain level of competition. He's 35-0 and he hasn't fought an elite guy yet. Some people say nobody wants to fight him, but you still got to deal with the fact that you haven't had that type of danger that you need on the other side of the ring to turn your senses on at the highest level. We can see what your defense is when you got real danger in front of you. We can see what your offense is when you got real danger in front of you. And I see Boots at times get hit with shots that works with this guy.
This rivalry isn't just about hypothetical matchups. It's grown intensely personal.
Ennis with Crawford, but Ennis always says he's got a completely different style and the only similarity is they both switch. Do you agree with that?
I 100% agree with that. Me personally, I think that Terence Crawford boxes a hell of a lot more in the moment, phenomenal fighter in the moment. And I think Ennis is a lot more...
Tension erupted during a now famous verbal showdown between Crawford and Boots on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. Their exchange exposed a rivalry for all to see. According to Breadman, this is the only way a fight that history has long avoided could actually happen. It wouldn't be about a title or the money. It would only occur if Crawford's competitive drive takes over, pushing him to think, I'm going to silence this kid and prove I'm the best. In other words, it would be a fight born purely from ego and a champion's pride.
Set on a big mega fight. I think he's close to retirement. Maybe something at 160, maybe unification at 160, maybe one in the Charlos. I don't know what Crawford has, but I think Boots is a little bit away from there. And it could happen. I would say maybe 70-30, 70 not happen, and 30% chance to happen.
But what if he actually did it? What if Crawford accepted the challenge and came out on top? That's when the risk becomes crystal clear. The stakes are enormous. Breadman points out that even taking the fight alone would elevate Crawford in the all-time rankings, simply because most greats in his position would decline. Yet if at 38, Crawford were to beat a prime, hungry, and exceptionally skilled Boots Ennis, Breadman is unwavering in his assessment. It would be a feat of historic magnitude. He would have no choice but to place Crawford among the all-time greats, right alongside legends like Ray Robinson.
Call it a duck, and it's definitely not a duck if Crawford don't fight Boots. But if he decided to give him the opportunity, it would be an unbelievable gesture on Crawford's part. I would look at him and put him like, wherever he's at on the GOAT status, he would go up here for me, just taking the fight like that. It's an extremely difficult fight. If Crawford beat Boots, I probably would think that
he's the best ever.
Yeah. Okay. Like I would put him next to like Ray Robinson, Roy Jones, Ray Leonard, Henry Armstrong. Like I think he's an all-time great. I don't know if he's with them yet because his best wins is Earl and Canelo. Has an excellent resume, but it's a little thin.
Even with such monumental stakes, Breadman closes with a dose of cold, hard realism. He estimates there's a 70 to 75% chance the fight won't happen. The reasoning is straightforward. Boots lacks the star power to make the payout worthwhile, and he's near the end of his career, having already secured a massive payday from Canelo. There's simply no financial incentive to take on such a dangerous risk. The decision is entirely in his hands.
Bro, Terence different, bro. I just know that man is different. That's what I'm saying. I never been in the ring with Boots. Yeah. I'm not saying Boots ain't different or you know, not good at all. I think it would be a good fight, but I just think, you know, Terence, just like he said, man, he been battle tested before. Terence been through all the ups and downs in the ring. He's the Floyd Mayweather of this generation. Just the magnitude of this fight, maybe Terence is just not.
Is Terence Crawford the strategist who cashes in protect a flawless legacy? Or is he the rare competitor willing to risk everything for a shot at true, undisputed immortality? That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming content. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.